Hello everybody and welcome back to some hard mode Enter the Gungeon. In the previous episode, we got a spiritual win. We technically did die, but we only really died to a glitch. We basically won. So I'm counting it as a win, but this time we're going to go in as little old YYVV, jump in and see how things go. But we got the Blank Bullets Gold Amulet Combo Dream. And my god, its true power shone brighter than any sun, because holy hell, was that one of the most powerful runs I've ever had. And yeah, we literally just died to a technicality, essentially. I mean, I took one shot, which is an item that I should literally never ever take. It is one of those S tier items that is probably not S tier in any way, shape or form, so I just shouldn't take it. But it exists, and I did take it. And it probably got me hit one or more times than it should have been. But essentially, the thing that we died to is the blank bullets were having some, and especially Elder Blank as well, was having some funky interactions with the wall of bullets that lies beyond, like behind you. And it was for some reason still hitting us even after they'd been blanked. Like, the bullets still existed and were still able to hit us, even though they were technically our bullets now, which is not how that's meant to work. So, we got hit 4 or 5 times more than we should have been. Oh my god, that's just evil. Come on now. We got hit like 4 or 5 times more than we should have been. And yeah, I wasn't super happy with that, so I'm classing it as a win. Considering as well that we got him down to, like, what was it, like 1% HP on his heart? Like, we'd already got through the main phase. I'm counting that as a spiritual win. And it was well-deserved as well, because, like, I mean, I know we got Radgun and stuff, but even without that, we were playing pretty well. We got a few flawlesses. It was a very good run nonetheless. I can be proud of my play and say that I deserved the spiritual win. It wasn't just I got really lucky. Like, I didn't even get the God combo until floor 4. So I survived without it for quite a while, like, just on Radgun, which Radgun is still insane. It's still insane, but still. Rad. Cool. Yeah. But yeah, we're jumping in once again. We're playing as little old YV here. My favourite character, or one of my favourite characters at least, in Nuclear Throne. Been really enjoying him. I've actually been watching a few really old YouTubers play Nuclear Throne recently. I don't know how many of you remember the days of Star _ yes, a mimic. But I don't know how many of you really were into Team Fortress 2 back in the day, but Team Fortress 2 had a pretty big following at one time. I mean, it still does have a pretty decent following, but at one point it had a really big following, and Star _ was like one of the biggest Team Fortress 2 YouTubers that I used to watch very regularly. He was really good at it, and I don't know, I really enjoyed his commentary and everything. And I found recently, because I've been searching up Nuclear Throne content, okay, that's a very bad item for hard mode. The loot bag betrays me all the time, but we'll take it. But yeah, and I recently found out just like from recommended videos that started like a whole bunch of videos on Nuclear Throne. I mean, granted, they came out like 5 years ago, so they're very, very old now. And it's like, it was while Nuclear Throne was still in development. I'm pretty sure it was like, oh my god, so bad. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was while Nuclear Throne was still in development, so there's a bunch of stuff missing from it, and like, it's not quite finished. But it's been really interesting to watch, actually. Oh my god, could you give me anything worse, you stupid game? The Turtle Soul is starting early. And then, I know this isn't an old YouTuber or anything like this, but I've been watching Huts also play Nuclear Throne from his series from about a year back. And that's been interesting as well. It's been kind of fun to sort of reminisce and go back and watch some people that I haven't watched in a long time. That's a lot of keys. Watch some people that I haven't watched in a long time. Like I said, especially Star. Oh yeah, he has a higher cost and everything, doesn't he? And it's been kind of fun. It's been kind of interesting. I've liked it thus far. That was a lot of lag there. Right. The boxing glove is doing okay because it's, like, stunning things, but it's a little too close range for my likings. Okay, I'm so dead. What the fuck? I survived that? Okay, no, I did. Yeah. YV has some problems. he has some serious issues about him. One being he's got lower HP, another being he's got lower dodge roll distance, and third being his shops are more expensive. I mean, he does start off with some really big bonuses, but I don't know, this feels a little tough. But yeah, I don't know, how many of you out there, like, go back and watch really old YouTube series that you used to watch? Like, I'm not the sort of person to watch a YouTube series more than once. If I watch a YouTube video, usually that's the first and only time I watch it. I very rarely do repeated viewings of a singular YouTube video. One series that I've been back to time and time again, which I love. I don't know how many of you have, watched Sips before. He used to be in Yogscast. I never really watched Yogscast, but when he branched out into his own stuff, Sips was always a really good YouTuber. He still streams to this day and does some really good stuff, and he uploads all of his stream VODs. But at one point he did a Skyrim playthrough, and I don't know what it is about it. It's vanilla Skyrim as well. It's not even modded, but I don't know if it's his editing style or his commentary or what, but it's just such a fantastic and wholesome series, and it still holds up to this day, and I highly recommend that if any of you like Skyrim, go and check out Sips' series. It's SIPS, and then just Skyrim, you'll find it. It's like an instant classic, and pretty much everyone in the comments is in agreement with me. Like, people are like, oh yeah, just on my 8th watch through of this series. I've not watched it that many times. I think I've only watched it about 4 times. But it's like 100 parts long. It's not even like a short series or anything, but it's just like, I don't know. It's like iconic YouTube. Do you know you get those videos or those series from YouTube that you just always remember? And it's like, it brings you back to a simpler time. Like, you remember watching it when you were like back in school. I know a lot of you are still in school, but I remember watching it when I was like back in school, chilling, had no responsibilities, life was easy breezy, and yeah, it brings me back to a simpler time, and I always enjoy watching it when I decide to go back and rewatch it. It's just, like I said, it's just super enjoyable, and the commentary's really good and everything. It's like, as well, like, this is going to be a little bit controversial, because I know there's a lot of controversy around him, but I used to watch, this is when I was a lot younger, by the way, I used to watch Tobuscus a lot. I used to watch him play, like, all sorts of games. I remember he had a Skyrim series, and I watched through that again, like, partially watched through that again, like, oh my god, not super long ago, probably like a year or 2 ago. I know that sounds like quite a while, but considering how old the series is, it isn't really. And that was kind of interesting to watch through again. Like, obviously now I didn't really enjoy it as much because his commentary style is tailored towards kids in a massive way, or at least it was. I haven't really seen what's going on with him recently. I know that there was a lot of controversy surrounding him not too long ago, but yeah, it was kind of an interesting watch, and even though the content is of course very much tailored towards kids, it was still entertaining, and I can still sort of, I don't know, do you know how, like, sometimes you look back on something you used to like and think, like, my god, what was wrong with me? But in that scenario, holy fuck, I'm so dead. In that scenario, I'm like, do you know what? Even as an adult, I can see why I watched this. I don't regret watching this at all. And it made me what I am today. No, I'm joking, it didn't, but it is something that I enjoyed a lot as a kid and watched a lot of. I mean, YouTuber's always been sort of a big part of my life. I mean, like, I've mentioned it before, but Northern Lion has always been like a true sort of inspiration for my content. One of the big reasons I do my content in the way I do with like full-length episodes of me playing without it being edited or cut is kind of because I enjoy the content that people like Northern Lion make. And yeah, he was always a big influence. I mean, I'm fairly sure that throughout the 5 years of college and uni combined, the 2 years at college and 3 years at uni, I heard Northern Lion's voice more than I heard my parents. I am not joking. I used to watch around 3 hours of Northern Lion a day, maybe more, depending on if I watched the NLSS, which was 3 hours on its own. But I'd normally watch both of his Isaac uploads that day and whatever else he was playing, and it usually led to about 3 hours of his content every day. And I would literally wait on his Isaac uploads and watch them the minute they came out. And I did this pretty much every day for about 6 years. I watched like out of his like 4,000 Isaac episodes of Rebirth, I've probably seen about 3,000 of them. I still watch him to this day. I just don't keep up with the series quite as much as I used to because I just don't have the time anymore. But yeah, like, I swear that throughout the years of college university, I genuinely heard Northern Lion's voice more than I heard my parents. He effectively raised me. And I don't know, I loved his content so much, and I still to this day like really enjoy his commentary style. And I tried to really base a lot of my content off of his. I mean, for one, he's successful and he does really well, but for two, he really enjoys it and he gets the most out of his life from doing it. And it's just it's a little inspirational. And he's just had a kid as well. It's crazy. It's really weird to see someone that I've been watching for so long. I mean, he is definitely older than me. Obviously, I'm 23 and he is 31 now. So he is definitely a lot older than me, but he's just had a kid. Like not even a month ago, less than a month ago, he's had a kid. And it's crazy to think about this person that I've been like watching a while as I've grown up and listening to talk and ramble. And now he's got a kid. That's weird. That's strange. Like, it kind of puts into perspective how far away I am from all that crap. And it's kind of crazy to think, like all of you watching right now, of course, most of you are going to be younger than me, and most of you by quite a bit, and a lot of you are still in school, but, like, can you imagine me with a kid? Can you imagine this retarded Gungeon player having a child? What the hell? Looking after a life in what would be, if I was the same age as him, what would be like 67 years, having an actual human infant. What the fuck? That's so bizarre to think about. That's strange. It's one of those things that's just like, goddamn, life happens fast. Gotta make the most of it before I'm 31. I'm not saying I'm not looking forward to that part of my life. Of course I am, but it's kind of spicy. Ooh, we've only got half a heart left, so this isn't going to last long, but ooh, kind of spicy. Yeah, it's just so weird to think about that sort of stuff. I mean, I know that's still, like, 7 years is still quite a ways off. I've only been doing YouTube for 2 years, and that's still, like, I don't know, like a quarter of my life away. Like, from what I've lived so far, it's still, like, another quarter. Like, it's still quite a long ways away, but it's still kind of crazy to think about. It really is, like, that doesn't seem like that long away to be in charge of another human's life. That's weird. Very strange. I've kind of thought about this at least a tiny bit. Like, am I gonna still be doing YouTube then in like 7 years? I don't know how long it's gonna be until I ever have a kid. It's gonna be probably quite a while. But in like, say it's like 6-7 years time, am I still gonna be doing YouTube then? I mean, I hopefully am. I still love it. I still enjoy it. It's still something that I want to keep doing. I want to keep pushing forward with. I wonder where the channel will be in that time. Like, because there's no doubt about it that Gungeon will be long gone by then. Like, I'm not gonna Northern Lion this and say it'll be career suicide if I'm still playing Gungeon then, because he said that in like 2006 and was still playing it in 2020. So probably I'm not gonna say that, but it would be a little bit career suicide. just a little bit. I made a big bad here. That could be useful. Not super useful, but it could be useful. But yeah, it's like, what? I wonder what my main game will be then. What will my channel look like in 7 years' time? Really crazy to think about. I mean, it's crazy to think that I've already been doing YouTube for more than 2 years. Like, I actually completely missed it, but I have gone past my 2-year anniversary for my first regular upload. It has been like, oh my god. Oh my god. It has been, let's try and think about this. Fuck. Like 2 years and 2 months. I think it was the 1st of August when I first uploaded 2 years ago. So it's been like 2 years, 2 months, and yeah, I've been doing it regularly, pretty much keeping up with uploads every single day. And I've still been loving it. Like, it's weird. Like, I've kind of fostered this really tightly knit, smaller community, and I've spoken about this a lot. I mean, a lot and a lot. But like, I've also gotten quite close with a lot of the modding communities as well. And it's just, I wonder what's going to happen with all that. Ow! I'm just going to quick restart that one. Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen with all that. I wonder where exactly life's going to take me. It's weird to think about that far ahead. I mean, I know most of you are going to be like in school right now and thinking, oh, well, I'll be out of school and life will be fantastic because school's the worst. Sorry, kiddos. That's not true. I'm joking. I don't want to try and crush your dreams. But school is by far the easiest time in your entire life. So just be ready for that. Like, when I think back to my days in secondary school, especially, I'm like, God damn, I used to moan so much about how difficult it was. And it's just not. It's just easy. It's just like, I'm gonna restart this as well, this is terrible. Just easy breezy. Like, I was just chilling. You did a really like pretty simple exam that you had to do like 2 weeks of revision for every once in a while. That actually, in terms of your entire life, means virtually nothing. And then that's it. And it's like, it's chill. Like, I obviously in school, you're always gonna. This is a really bad tangent because I'm gonna end up getting some people in trouble. God damn it! But I'm gonna carry on with this tangent. Like when I was in school, at least, you always get told like how damn well important your exams are. You've got to do really well on your exams. You've got to do really well on your exams. But in reality, I don't know if it goes this way for every country, but in reality, all you need is a passing grade. Like, you don't need to do well in the slightest. You need a passing grade to get onto your next level of education, which for us is college. I know for universities, for America it's different, but it goes college and then university for us. So to get onto your next level of education in college, you just need a passing grade. And then literally after you've gotten into college or the next level of education, no one will ever ask you about that grade ever again. People, and then the same goes for college. You use your college grade to get into university, and then no one will ever ask you about your college grade ever again. It will never come up, ever. The only grade in your life that actually matters, like truly matters, is the grade that you get at your last level of education. So wherever you leave education, whether you leave it at a school level, a college level, or a university level, the last level that you're at, that's the only grade that will ever matter. The other grades are just to get you into the next level of education. I mean, personally, I think a lot of the teaching systems and school systems are like deeply flawed anyways, because they teach you how to pass exams, they don't teach you how to actually live. So like you learn the stuff that's required for you to get onto the next level of education, but they only teach you the stuff you need to know to pass the exam. Like when you learn about chemistry, you don't really learn that much about chemistry. You learn the very specific stuff about chemistry that you need to pass the exam. You don't learn generally about chemistry, really. You learn very, very specific stuff that you need for an exam. And it's just kind of flawed. Like, you should be taught more generally about the topic rather than just taught about specific things in depth. I mean, it's nice to have really deep knowledge about those subjects, but, like, when am I ever going to need to know how photosynthesis works? Like, I don't know, like, teach me how to make chemical compounds that are actually useful, that I could use it in real life at some point. I know that not many, you're not really going to be making many chemical compounds in your life, but there is a lot of practical applications that you could learn in chemistry. A lot of reactions that make sense. Like, teach me that if you mix bleach with certain things, it can create poisonous gases and kill you. Like, that's the sort of shit people need to know. Don't mix this with this, otherwise you'll die. Don't piss in a bleach bottle. It will kill you. I mean, no one's going to piss in a bleach bottle, but you kind of need to know that if you do, it will kill you. So don't do that. Don't ever do it. It's bad. But like, yeah, you don't really learn what you need to learn in school, and it kind of pisses me off, really. Like to some degree, it really depends on I think really more the bigger thing is it's all about your own how much how much you want to get out of it, to be honest. I think that's the bigger thing. Like, I love this item. It's more about what you want to get out of it than what school is willing to give you. If you're willing to go the extra mile and do the extra research that you don't have to do, or the extra work that you don't have to do to learn the extra stuff, then you're going to come out of it a whole lot better off and a whole lot more like smarter and knowledgeable about the subject than you would be from just doing the schoolwork, because usually the schoolwork don't mean jack shit. And I know this is this is probably a really terrible tangent to go on for all of you that are in school. Hey kids, I know you're all currently in school right now, but it doesn't mean anything, and it's worthless. No, I don't. You still go to school. It's still very good. But I think, like, the more important thing that you get out of school is, even if you don't hang around with that many people, even if you're not friends with a ton of people, having the ability to be in social situations very often, that's the bigger part about why school is important. School is important to make sure that you're able to deal with humans. You're able to cope with problems, even if you don't like people, which many people don't nowadays. This is a troll room, right? Right. God damn it. God damn it. It got me. You know the rules, and so do I, so do I. But yeah, I really do think that, especially in the higher levels of education, like university level, you've got to put more effort in to get more out. And I mean, that goes for saying for pretty much everything. What have I done here? What have I done here? It kind of goes without saying that, like, the more effort let's just play the bullet for a bit of a jape, bit of a meme. It kind of goes without saying that the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it in most aspects of life. But I think in education it really does, because like I said, like, if you go the extra mile to actually learn about the subject outside of what the school teaches you, you're going to come out of it with a way vaster array of knowledge, especially in certain subjects. I mean, there's a few of them which it really doesn't matter. Like, who the fuck's giving any sort of craps about religious education? I'm sorry, but, like, no one cares. No one cares. But, like, things like maths and science, making sure you learn stuff outside of the curriculum is pretty important. Like, there is a ton of stuff I've learned outside of just what the school taught me that I'm still to this day happy that I know about. And plenty of stuff that the school taught me that I'm still to this day confused about why they taught me. It's like loads of people besmirch algebra. Loads of people say that algebra, for one, is really hard, and for two, it's pointless. But algebra is probably the most important bit of maths you'll ever learn at school, because algebra essentially applies to every single bit of maths you'll ever do in your life, pretty much. And it's like, that's like really important. But then there's other stuff. There's a thingy here, secret room, nice. But then there's other stuff like mapping graphs and stuff. Oh, hello. Like mapping graphs and stuff, and it's like, when am I gonna map a graph? Hey, flak bullets. Like, who's mapping graphs? When am I gonna need this? What's the point? I don't get it. Did I just get another secret room? I did. By the way, this just shows how overpowered Bullet is in hard mode. Okay, I did not know this room was so crazy. Damn it, no! Okay, now I'm fucked. Now I've been hit, I'm fucked. Darn it. Right, we need to go to the shop. We need health real bad. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's one of those things that's always been kind of a pet peeve of mine. Yes. Give me that. Gotta be careful with school. It's like, it's not to say that it's not important. It just, it's made to feel like it's more important than it is. It's definitely a very important part of your life, and it's by no means so I say to anyone don't go to school, because you kind of have to. You need to. Otherwise, you'll end up really fucked up later on. But yeah, it's just... It puts a lot of unnecessary pressure on you that you don't really need. I actually think a lot of kids would do better in school if the teachers didn't put so much pressure on the exams and the importance of them. Because what a lot of people might not know... Hey, that's pretty good. What a lot of people might not know as well is that a lot of the schools want you to get a good grade, not because they care about you and they want you to do well. They want you to get a good grade because it makes the school look better, and it means that more people will attend the school and they'll get more money from the government. That's essentially why they want you to do well. Like, they don't actually give two flying fucks whether you pass or not. They want a passing grade. They don't care if you specifically pass. So they'll really, really drill down about, oh, gotta get the best grade you can. All of you can get A's and all this sort of crap. And it's like, yeah, but you don't need to, really. I mean, sometimes you need to. There is some specific scenarios in which you have to get an A to get onto a certain course or something. And I realize that those situations do exist. But it's also... like, they are trying to force you into doing extra work and getting all this extra shit so that you can get this really high grade for them, not for you. Like, they know that you don't need it, but they want you to get it because... oh, for God's sake. Okay, we're fucked. Because if you get it, they get more money from the government. Or, like, they get more funding or whatever. There's a few different scenarios about it, but... yeah. I mean, see, I say this, there's always a caveat to this, because there are some teachers out there, some teachers that genuinely really do care. And it is rare, but there's some teachers out there that are really nice, and they genuinely do care that you do well, and they want you to get the most that you possibly can out of school, which is great. It's wholesome when you find a teacher like that. But generally, there's a lot of what the fuck? My God. There's a lot of, like, pushing the kids to do things that they probably don't need to do. Especially if you're just going on to the next level education and all you need is a passing grade to get to that next level, then it's kind of like, it's one of those things where it's like, there's so much extra stress that you don't need to have. Like, a lot of you may not know this about me. I mean, some of you definitely know. Oh my God, this thing's crazy. I forgot how crazy this thing was. A lot of you probably do know this, some of you may not. I am terrible at English, and you can probably tell by the fact that I can barely read. By the way, I love this gun. Probably tell that fact but because I can barely read. But I had to go and do a lot of extra English in school. Like, I had to do an extra year of like, additional English alongside my normal lessons. Sort of like tutoring to make sure that I passed. That was close. To make sure that I passed, and I don't regret doing that. I'm glad I did. I managed to get a passing grade only just because of it. I got a C, which is passing grade. I would have probably got a D or less had I not have done those lessons, and I'm very grateful for that sort of stuff. You got to make sure to get that passing grade. But at the same time, we had this teacher in these lessons that, like, all of us that were in there were all in there because we were terrible at English and we weren't going to pass. And we had this teacher that would constantly say to us, you can all get A's. You're all capable of getting A's if you just put the effort in. It's like, no, we're not. Like, there's a reason we're in this class. If we were all capable of getting A's, we would be in the class with all the kids that are getting A's. Like, I'm sorry, sir, but that's fucking bullshit. Stop telling all the kids in here that they can get A's, because they can't. None of us are going to get an A. Do you know why? Because if we could get an A, we wouldn't fucking be here, alright? And it just, oh, it always ticks me off. It's like, that's bad encouragement. That's a bad thing to say to these kids. And me. Telling them that they can get something that they definitely can. Like, if you just put the effort in, it's like, no. Like, we're putting the same effort in that all these other kids are putting in, and we are doing worse. That shows that we are just generally worse at this subject. Like, whether that be because I do have a little bit of dyslexia, so that's probably why I have my problems, but whether that be because of, like, things like dyslexia or just other reasons, like, a lot of these kids are putting in the exact same effort the other students are. and then not getting the same out of it. And do you know why? It's because, unfortunately, we're just worse at the subject. Like, you can't tell everyone that they're going to get an A and they're capable of getting A's. Otherwise, we'd be in the class for the kids that get A's. Yeah. And school does that a lot, and I don't like that. It's okay to settle for a lower grade if you know that you're not capable of getting an A. Like, I mean, if you put, like, hundreds of hours of revision into the subject, then yeah, maybe you will. But at the same time, why would I put hundreds of hours of revision into learning about fucking... What the hell's that book called? Of Mice and Men that we had to do in school when I'm literally never going to need to know anything about that book in my life ever again. And I understand that the book's subject isn't actually what you're learning about. It's more about how the text is written and English in general sort of thing. But, like, a lot of that stuff you just learn from living life. Okay, this is laggy. Yeah, a lot of that stuff you just learn from living life. You don't... Okay, we might die here. We don't have any blanks left, I didn't realise. Fuck. Yep, we're dead. Like, you don't need to... Like, obviously some of it, like, punctuation and all that sort of stuff you do need to learn, but, like, you also learn a lot of that from just living life. And, I mean, so many kids nowadays and so many people are on the internet so much, like, that... People that don't even speak English natively learn English off of YouTube and Twitch and Discord. Like, even though a lot of people speak in offhand English that isn't proper, you do learn a lot of those skills just being online. Either way, that's enough of a turtle lecture for today. That was kind of a fun run to end that off there. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and please make sure to stay in school. Don't do drugs. I maybe sent some of the wrong messages there, but I don't know. It's just a rant. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.